to record this. Lunara.
Yeah. You'll laugh at this, Gidon. It was Madeline's needs that helped drive me to learn how to do this.
There you go. Everything is all connected.
Yes. Amen.
Let's continue on. I'm going to get back to those Zoom meetings later on. We're on line 8 over here out of 16, so we're about halfway done. I hope that we'll be able to do it quickly. I without telling too many people, I met at an Israeli at a conference here in Israel. It was called the Our Crowd Summit, I think. It's like one of the biggest high-tech summits in Israel, but it's not like, gadgets. It's people, whatever it was a place to be. There was like 15,000 people there. And I met this lady there. Her name was...
investment startup funds.
Yes, it's investment startup funds. So I highly recommend anybody who gets a chance to Google Our Crowd, and it's interesting stuff, coolest stuff. So
wow.
So anyway, so this Peggy Kennedy, together with her partner Leah Miles, they run something called the Esther 414 Foundation. And of course, Esther 4:14. I'm sure some of you, if you don't know that, you can guess. That's the verse where Esther says, where Mordecai tells Esther, you better go and tell the king, because if you don't, who knows if for a time like this you have come to the king.
Yeah, for such a time as this.
Such a time as this. So we came up with this idea while I was talking to her over there that I would teach Jewish perspectives on the Book of Esther. And
yes,
so I did that, and they're still and they're still setting it up. We had hoped that they would be able to do it for Purim. Purim is way behind us already, but it's evergreen material, because you are allowed to learn the Book of Esther even though it's not on Purim. So hopefully within a few weeks we're going to have that content stuff ready, and they have also transcribed it, so it's going to come with a PDF. I'm very excited about that. It's been a while since I've taught so formally, and it's a 9-lesson series. I go through the entire book, the entire scroll, the entire book of Esther. It's 10 chapters. The last chapter is very short, so I combine it with the second to I combine it with the 9th chapter. And I think I threw it away. The title is something like Discovering and Engaging with the Internal Haman in All of Us, or something like that. Overcoming Haman. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was a nice idea, and you guys can tell me if you liked it or not. So we'll see. And in principle, I have to get this written down, actually. Let me take a note for myself over here. Clarify revenue sharing with Peggy and Leah. Well, that's good. Hebrew is not going to work. Clarify revenue sharing with Peggy and Leah. Okay, I can pretty much understand that. Actually, yeah. So I think they claim, it's a little hard for me to believe, but they claim that they get about 300 new people on their mailing list every day. Say there, and
yes,
this will be, they will give everybody who comes onto their mailing list a free trailer teaser of this course, and people who will buy the course, it'll cost like $60, and Root Source will get, I don't know, $30 or something like that.
Nice.
That's awesome.
If it's 300 people a day, let's say that 10% of them will actually buy it. So that's $300. That's 30 people a day times 30. That's about $1,000 a day. Okay, let's see if that works.
Yeah.
I'm not counting that money yet. So that's exciting. Okay, so as I'm up to line 9. I would like to discuss my May trip with you. it's a little bit old today, but I'll repeat what I wrote over here. I didn't. So I would like to discuss with you. I have a feeling that as an anchor of my trip, the Israel Today Symposium in Dallas will be canceled, and the interest that people will have in leaving their house at that point, and the whole USA, including Dallas, for anything, will be about what it is like here in Israel now, which is close to zero.
Mhm.
So I would like to have one-on-one meetings by Zoom. Also, group meetings equals teachings. So let me record that from now. Go aggressive on inviting people for one-on-one meetings and group teachings and open to the public teachings on Zoom. Okay, that's what we'll be doing. Of course, the issue of one second. The issue of the time problem is still a little bit the same. But again, I think that people are going to be able to take more time off because everybody's going to be at home. Galen's driving, but Galen, get used to driving less, sir. Communication with people via Mighty Text. Shelly, are you still there? She just has to figure out how to unmute herself. Wait a second, I'll unmute her.
Right.
Yeah, Shell or not? I thought I did. Yeah, Shelly.
Yes, I
I don't
cannot
see her.
figure
I don't
out.
see her.
Okay.
I didn't know how to
She's not
unmute.
on camera.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I figured that out fast. So Shelly's doing a lot for me. Thank you very much. What I plan to do is get an American phone that I'll be able to connect to this app called Mighty Text, and then I'll be able to send texts, maybe even get texts through that phone, which will be in America. That'll cost me maybe $10 a month. I don't know how cheap an American phone plan I can get, but then I'll be able to access those texts on my Israeli computer, Bezrat Hashem, the same way any of us who access WhatsApp on our computers do. You following what I'm saying? So that way I'll be able to
Yes.
text people and get text back. And I think that people, I'm sure that most Americans are much more into texting than WhatsApping. And then, Bezrat Hashem, people actually communicate with me, which it's been a while since I've tried, but very, very frustrating, as I'm sure all of you know, to try to communicate with anybody in America. So hopefully that'll be helpful. Okay, so this Texas Torah Coalition, I have a meeting with somebody that I met the last time I was in Dallas. Their name are Chalk and Tammy Hankins. And what I want to promote is create something called the Texas Torah Coalition, which I don't want to talk about so much now. Basically, getting more people who are interested in learning Torah to do so and to interact and to engage with each other. Maybe make like a Facebook group or something like that. But it'll be much easier to market and to communicate with these people when we do it. At our next meeting, like I said, tomorrow I have a meeting with this couple that seems very excited and seems to maybe have enough time on their hands for me to promote that, pursue that them. Okay, this Amongst Friends meeting is a group in Jerusalem of I would say about 20 Jews like me and about 20 Christians like y'all who meet. Well, we don't meet so much, but we do have a WhatsApp group that we share. We call it Amongst Friends. And we had a meeting once about a half a year ago, and I was about to make another meeting, but Corona happened. So I think I'm going to try to make a Zoom meeting like this one. And hopefully, I was hoping to have like 40 or 80 people at this meeting, but I think if we have 10, it looks like the Brady Bunch was correct. And also Hollywood Squares, how many people you're supposed to have in an optimal Zoom meeting. It looks like 9 is the optimal. So maybe that's what we'll do. Okay.
12.
12 is more optimal? Okay. 12 is Hollywood Squares. You say so, honey. My wife knows everything, so if she says so, she knows. All right, we have, how much more time is remaining? 8 minutes. I think we're going to make it to the end. A friend of mine is publishing a book, so I might help him with that. Of course, we're waiting for Sydney to submit her manuscript, and so we can help her with publishing her book. And Bob is publishing.
And that won't be I'm hoping I will pass it to you for Passover.
Passover.
That's my goal.
You want to pass over the book
I'm
on
hoping.
Passover. Okay, if you want to pass over the book on Passover, you better book.
I know.
Yay, Sydney.
Yes,
That's my goal. I mean, I'm completely done with my self-edit. Thank God. Really, I mean that. Thank the Lord. And now I'm writing the testimonials. And then I just need to do the beginning part of the book and the back cover, I guess. So it'll happen.
I'm sure. In due time. Some of you might have noticed, if you read my newsletters, that I am starting to work, or continuing to work, but I revealed that I'm starting to work on a volume called Pirkei Avot for Christians.
Mm-hmm.
And and I'm quite excited about that. It's working out quite nicely. We have about 30 Christians who responded to my call to review the ancient text of Pirkei Avot, a translation of it, and make comments and especially questions of understanding. So I've gotten a lot of response from those people, and I hope that also within a month or two I'll be able to publish that. I think what I'm going to be doing is having a minimally annotated text of Pirkei Avot in the beginning, and then some short essays, perushim, commentaries in the back, like two sections or maybe 3 sections with Hebrew. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but I'm quite excited, and I think it'll be a bestseller. Which person who publishes a book and doesn't think it's going to be a bestseller?
Hey, Gadon, I was going to ask you, is it all right if, this is Sydney, if I forward that to all of my Torah group, anyone who wants to review what you sent me, what you sent us? Okay. I figured you'd say that, but I wanted to ask.
I sent it to the Root Source newsletter, which has about 20,000 people on it. And I put it on my website, and I put it on my my Facebook, which has about 5,000 people. So
okay, cool.
So we'll be happy to get more people on. The more the merrier.
Okay.
You never know who's going to get a good comment in. And Baruch Hashem, there are some people who are making very good comments.
Good.
Okay. So anyway, the next 2 items are reviewing of my January trip. I didn't do such a good job of that, but I never do. I hope I'll do better in the future. You're always trying to do better and better. And finally, and we're going to finish up here before the 40 minutes is over. And look at that. I told Alejandra that it would be 45 minutes, and now it's going to be only 40 minutes.
Awesome. Thank you for...
And everybody's saying thank you. Everybody's thinking, thank you, Alejandra. So on line 16 here, these are the places where I'm going to have to start paying money, and that is fundraising, marketing, new content, and let's start with those 3. I'm gonna want to retain somebody to help me to fundraise bigger gifts and smaller gifts. When I say smaller gifts, I'll remind you, over the past 5 years, there have been, I don't remember how many hundreds of people who have given as little as $7 and as much as $100, or maybe really, yeah. And so people like that, I want to return to them and say, okay, listen, now we're changing Root Source, and it's going to be free for people in China and people in Africa and people all over the world. So if, we'd appreciate it if you would be a supporter and be a partner. So I'm excited about moving forward on that, to find a big fundraising a consultant and a small one. And I have a few people, you know, they're like mushrooms. There's fundraising consultants all over when you look for them. If somebody, you might remember that man that some of you, or maybe all of you, remember that man that we met the first time we had Root Source Live about 2 years ago, or 1 year ago, a year and a half. Who that guy's name was Tim Clevinger, I think. Jim, I don't know what his name was already. Came and disappeared, but he recommended a few people, and one person I was a little bit impressed with. But we'll see if anybody has any suggestions for that. That would be good. Marketing is really email marketing. I want to get more people. We have about 3 minutes left. More people on our into our funnel. New content is the thing that I want to do most, which of course is interacting with Jews in Israel to get them into the field of teaching and engaging with Christians. That's really the core. That's the core of Root Source. So I'm going to want to do more aggressive engagement with those kind of activities. Right now, for the past year or so, we've been our main and almost only engagement with our circle of friends has been the newsletter, which, in case anybody didn't know this, I barely add any content to that. So I hope that I'm going to bring more content to that, and I'm going to have other Jews bring more content. Okay, we have about 2 minutes. I would like, if anybody has something to comment, then they should say so now.
I would like to say that your newsletter that goes out, the content is so rich just because you give weekly Torah teachings, and it makes it very easy for people who aren't sure how to access that info. Boom, it's right there. I mean, it's incredible. So
I think it is too. I second that. I love it.
Thank you. Anything else?
And get on it with new content.
Yes.
For Christians wanting to learn from Jews. I think it might be interesting to consider some teachings and trainings on Shabbat and the other Moedim.
For sure.
In a Jewish household, what does it look like? And teach those who want to know in the Christian community, because many of us do want to start practicing.
Yeah, and that's a main part. And that's a main part of Judaism. So
I'd love to hear like what kind of questions you have. Maybe I would take that on.
Whoa,
I can't promise, but you know, I'm working from home all the time anyway, so that means a lot less commuting. So, but I would like to know what questions you have, because there's such huge topics. It's like the elephant, you know, you can grab the tail, but if you mean the trunk, then you're not going to be satisfied.
Okay.
Are you saying that to Sydney?
Yes, she is. So Zoom might gift us a little bit more time, but otherwise it looks like we have less than 1 minute. And I'm glad that Deborah has volunteered to teach. And Sydney and Deborah, I will engage the two of you. I will bring the two of you together to move forward.
That's a great idea. Yeah,